Hello everyone, welcome to my review for Arrow episode 1 of season 4. This was actually a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. It was a nice premiere, a nice way to set up the season. I want to get into the whole beginning of the season, where we left off from the last season with the whole Ra's al Ghul thing. Oliver and Felicity are basically living out in Ivorytown, which is a reference to a fictional city in DC Comics where the Atom is from, and which is kind of fitting, that the Atom's dead and now Oliver and Felicity live in his town. But anyway, this was interesting because we got to see Oliver and Felicity basically living their lives as normal people in a little small suburban town, and it was just really nice to see this. It didn't last that long in the episode. They got to the action real fast, but it was just a nice little departure from where we're usually at in the show. It was nice to see little things like Oliver catching the wine bottle with his good reflexes, or the whole Felicity basically just not being able to cook and hating his suburban life. Those little tidbits were just nice to see. But that's soon broken apart by the arrival of Laurel and Fia needing help against their new enemies. Damien Darhk, the big bad that was mentioned in the last season by Ra's al Ghul, is now the main focused villain of this season, and for good reason. This guy is really cool. The actor that plays him is really awesome too. He was in Justified season 3. You should check it out. He was a really good villain in that, and he's a really good villain in this. What can I say about Damien Darhk? Damien Darhk is basically a very, coded, elegant kind of villain, sort of like kind of like a businessman version of Ra's al Ghul, who works for Hive. I think you discovered that in this episode, or maybe it's the next episode. But anyway, he works for Hive, which is interesting because we haven't seen Hive, and it's basically been like 4 seasons since Hive's been referenced. They were referenced in season 1, and we hadn't even seen them since then. So the showrunners have been holding that back for a while. Other than that, the action was really good in this episode. There's a lot of tension between Diggle and Oliver. They have a broken bromance now, and they have to try to remand it. There's some nice little stuff with Fia going all ape shit on people. You can see her. You can see that her storylines can get more and more aggressive and violent. Felicity's kind of her normal self. She's inheriting Ray Palmer's company, so there's that. Diggle's got a new costume, as you can see here in this picture. He's got a cool little helmet. Hopefully that thing's bulletproof. And Diggle's actually a lot more interesting this season. Like, just so far, his action sequences and stuff have been so much better. It's more badass overall. The one thing I want to say before, I'm going to run out of time soon, but one thing I want to say before I end this video is that the fight scene between Oliver and Damien Darhk in the end is just awesome. That was a really good fight scene. A lot of cool little twists with Damien's magic powers. And also the whole funeral scene at the end was a really crazy twist, left field. I wasn't expecting that. Most people think that it's going to be Felicity that's dead, but I don't believe that for a second. That'd be too obvious. They're going to try to set us up for somebody different. So overall, this was probably a good 7 or 8, probably a good 8. And thank you guys for watching. See you next time.